Hey everyone, it's Andrew. So this is going to be a video doing an unboxing and review of the Bodum pour over coffee set. I had a set for about a year and then it broke, and so more recently I purchased this new set from Walmart for about $20 to replace that. And I want to do a video reviewing this just because I like it so much, and it's a relatively cheap and affordable way to get pour over coffee at home without having to buy an expensive Chemex or V60 pour over set instead. So it's readily available. It's at Walmart, it's at Target. You can definitely pick it up just at the store locally. So it's something easy to get if you're interested in getting into pour over. What we'll do in this video is essentially unbox this, and then I'll make a little bit of coffee with it just to show you how to make it and the little nuances with how this one works. But I'll set up the camera and we'll take a look at the Bodum pour over coffee set. Okay, so here is the Bodum pour over coffee set. I picked this one up at Walmart. It's in their coffee aisle. You can get it for about $20. At Walmart, it comes in this packaging, which is essentially just the whole pour over coffee set with this strap around it, versus it's also available at Target for a similar price, which it actually comes in a box at that location. But those are two readily, easy stores you can find it at locally. Otherwise it is on Amazon, and I'll put a link below for where you can find it on Amazon. But we'll just get this open and I'll show you what's inside it. So it should just pop open on the top and then come apart here. So what you'll find in the set is there's going to be this bottom portion here, which is this glass carafe. The bottom portion at the here will collect all the coffee once you make it, and the top part here will allow you to put the strainer in it, and you'll put the coffee on the top. I'll walk you through this. And then inside here is some labeling, as well as a typical coffee scoop. We'll just take those out for now if I can get them out easily. So that's the scoop. It's basically is like a 1-cup scoop, and then I'll try to get these labeling out. So yeah, the labeling came out easily, but it shows you general instructions, use, that sort of thing, but nothing too special. And then this here says cork is not dishwasher safe, which is fine. So that's the labeling on the inside. Around the outside here is actually like this cork holder. It has I'll take it apart. It has this leather strap that has this drawstring here, and when you need to clean the actual carafe, what you can do is just take this off easily, and then this cork pops off, and so this is easy to throw in the dishwasher or wash in the like hand wash, that sort of thing, and you can put it back on. I actually kept this from the old one if I needed to use it in the future. But when you put it back on, you just wrap it around, loop it like this, and then slide it back over. You have to just be careful not to pull too hard, and then pull it snug. One thing is, I will tell you that this is relatively fragile. So the way I broke my last one after a year of use is actually I just knocked it over on the counter like this and hit the edge here, and it cracked across the whole top, and so that's why I had to throw it out. So you have to be very careful. Put this in a location where it can't get knocked over easily, otherwise it can break. Fortunately though, it's only about $20, so if you do break it, it's not too expensive to replace, and I got a year's use out of it without ever having it break, so that's relatively good luck for me. So that's the bottom portion. The other thing that comes with it is this, it's basically this top or plug that goes in the top. What you do is essentially when you use it, you just plug it in here, and it sits right there, and there's a little area where you can coffee pours out. This is a little bit helpful because it allows you, one, to not spill when you pour out of this, but it also protects or prevents steam from coming out of the top, so you minimize heat loss. In general, with this coffee pour over, you get about 2 to 4 cups out of it, depending on the cup size you use. So sometimes what you'll find is if you have 1 cup of coffee, you'll drink that and it's warm, but by the time you come back with this carafe, it does dissipate the heat a little bit on the bottom, and so sometimes you'll have to, the coffee will be colder or not the temperature you'd want. So that's that little plug that comes in the top. And then lastly, here's a metal strainer that comes in it. So this is just like a metal strainer with plastic on it, nothing too special. It does say that you could use this strainer to put directly the coffee grounds directly into it. I have never done that. I've actually purchased, I think, #4 filters from Walmart as well and used those. The benefit of that is when you put the filter at the top, the grounds are all located in one place, so you can easily get rid of it, compost it, that sort of thing. Versus if you put the coffee directly into the strainer, it's going to be a bigger hassle to clean up because you have to rinse this out. Additionally, I think you'll find that I haven't done this, but I think you would find that the quality of the coffee you get out of this, if you just use the strainer, would be poorer because you won't have as much control when you're doing the pour over method. So that's everything that comes in the box. So essentially the scoop, the carafe, the strainer on the top, and that's everything you need from the pour over setup. $20 is a great option. What I'll do now is really quickly make a cup of coffee and just show you how to do it with this setup. But I have done this in the past using the Bodum pour over method with a video if you want to take a look at that video. So we'll set this up and get some coffee going. Okay, so real quick, I've previously done a video on how to do pour over coffee, but I want to do a quick summary of everything you need if you're new to this and have not used the Bodum pour over coffee maker before. So you'll need the pour over setup, obviously. You'll need some sort of coffee, whatever you prefer, but I picked Trader Joe's organic Sumatra blend. It comes with whole beans like this, and I ground this already to speed things along in my grinder. I've been using the House Santiago grinder. I've done a video on this in the past as well, and I absolutely love this thing. But this grinds really well and gets you a fine grind. So that's what you have here. So there's 6 scoops of the Sumatra coffee already ground here in like a fine grind. That's what I personally prefer, and you'll use that for the coffee. You'll need some sort of mug. This is just a ceramic mug you can get on Amazon for about $15.99. I'll put a link if you're interested in that. And then you'll need for the Bodum pour over, you'll need some sort of filter. You can use the screen as I mentioned earlier, but I don't know how reliable that is, so I always use a filter. And the ones that fit really well for this are the Natural Brew #4 size, which is this size right here. So that's all you'll need. I've already boiled the water along the side here. So this is the Brewista kettle. It has about 4 cups of water in it that was boiled, and then I allowed it to sit to a temperature about 205 degrees, and that's a good setup for that. So as far as using the Bodum pour over, what you'll do is you'll essentially set the filter inside here. Hopefully you can see this on camera. And what I find is set it like that and get it kind of flush in there. And then what you'll do is pour a little bit of this water in here to just soak the filter so that it's moist, so that you don't have any like impurities or anything like that. So let that run through, okay? And that'll heat up the filter, moisten it so it's already good to go. And then you'll take this excess water here and dump it out. So you have the filter now warmed up. You have the coffee or the water ready to go. You'll pour in the grind. Usually I don't do it this way. Usually I kind of scoop it in, but I want to speed things along so that you didn't see me grinding and stuff like that. And what I do is when it's I kind of pat it down like this. So it's not like compact, but it's enough that you don't have as much air or gaps between it. Okay, and so you'll sit it up like this, and then you'll start pouring the coffee. Let me get this filter kind of good to go. So with the kettle, this is a Gooseneck kettle, you'll essentially just pour over the middle in circular motions, and I'll kind of move this closer, until all the grinds are soaked or wet. And it might take a little while, but there you go. So all the grinds are soaked or wet. Now you'll wait about 30 seconds. The purpose of this is essentially allows the grinds to kind of activate and steep, and it allows it to release the CO2 that's built into it so that you don't have impurity within the coffee grind. I'm going to move the camera up now so you can see a little bit better. Okay. And so that's kind of what it looks like. Got a couple more seconds, but it'll run through like that. And then what you'll do is now you'll just take the rest of the water and just do circular motions, pouring it just gently, not too fast a pace. And you'll start in the middle and just go kind of outward, counterclockwise or clockwise, whichever direction you choose, and try to avoid pouring directly onto the filter. So once you get to the edge like that, I go kind of like counterclockwise now, and I just pour it slowly. This is like a skill you have to just pick up over time as you like do this. What I found previously was I would like pour it too fast, like let it run or sit in this, and then I'd kind of like come back and pour more. But I found now what I tend to do is just pour it slower and let it kind of drain at the same rate as which I'm pouring it, so you don't have as much buildup of water. So it's more of like a continuous pour rather than just pouring it in and then kind of letting it sit and then drain. Well, you'll kind of just do this. I might speed this along in the video just because you don't really necessarily need to watch me do this real time, at least. And if you pour too much like I'm doing right now, I got kind of distracted, you can either just slow down or you just stop and let it drain a little bit. Like right now, I'm just going to let it stop and then let it drain. So I'll speed this up in the video just to speed things along. And then when you see it start kind of dropping down, what I tend to do is I pour out just along the edge to get these grinds back in the middle, and then I'll keep on pouring the rest of the water. So you have a lot of control with the Brewista kettle. It's very nice. You can kind of like, you can drip it, like literally drop by drop if you really wanted to, versus you can pour it faster depending on what you're using this for. And so that's pretty much all the water. I'm not going to pour it all in, but that's pretty much to the edge there. And there's no more water in the kettle, so now we'll let this run all the way through. I'll just show you kind of underneath what it looks like as this is doing its thing. So it's essentially just collecting at the bottom reservoir here, and then you have the rest of the coffee there. So it'll run all the way through, and we'll speed this along just to save some time. Okay, so as you can tell, all the water pretty much has gone through this at this point. What you'll do is take off the screen and the filter and kind of just set it aside somewhere, or you could just, I typically just throw it right into a compost container, and you'll get rid of that. And then the Bodum coffee maker comes with this little plunger. You'll put that, and that allows the steam to be kind of like, prevents the steam from coming out the top, which it minimizes heat loss, and your coffee is good to go. So that's about 4 cups made with 6 scoops of coffee, and all you have to do is just pour it into a cup and you're good to go. So I highly recommend the Bodum pour over coffee maker if you're interested in it. And additionally, I do recommend the Brewista kettle. It's a great kettle for pour over coffee for good control, and it's clearly lasted for a while. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below. I'll put a link to all these different products in this video if you're interested in purchasing it. I am an affiliate with Amazon, so any of those purchases do come back to me and help support my channel. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe.